Platform 9 3/4. Pumpkin pastries? A talking hat that reads your soul? Episode 4. Thank you for joining me. HBO series of Harry Potter. Let's have a little dive into this. The journey begins. I think this is a key moment as well as Harry enters the Hogwarts Express on platform 9 3/4. This is kind of where he meets his true found family.
Platform 9 3/4 this way.
The magic before the magic. The moment Harry gets to platform 9 3/4 is one of quiet transformation. This is where Harry enters the magic world. Also the chaotic moment he meets the Weasleys, because remember,
Alright, Percy, you first.
in the book, the Weasleys and meeting Harry is a chaotic moment, like loads of shouting, owls hooting, banging of like trunks, a glimpse of the real wizarding family. How does he feel? The movie trims this down, but HBO could show quite a lot. They could show Molly helping her children one by one through the barrier. Harry watching confused, then finally asking for help, which he kind of does in the movie. I think Percy acting important, Ginny begging to go, Fred and George teasing Ron. There's like elements there that can be extra elaborated on. The train ride is quite good. Getting onto the train, the friendship, the foreshadowing, the amount of people that meet Harry in the train, like in the movie is not as many as it could be. More of the interior of the train, maybe compartments, and showing more of that Hogwarts Express, because it's like a whole fan base around the trains as well. So they love how that works, the steam locomotives. This is kind of where he meets his true found family, like the trio, the best bit of it. So Ron and Harry's bonding over food, the trolley coming in. Is that, I think that element was nice, where they're enjoying the candy and like kind of the frog leaping out, the corned beef sandwiches. Like there's elements there that can be elaborated on. Ron deserves a little bit more screen time to kind of deep dive into some of that, the relationship there. Hermione's first impressions, very bossy, like brilliant and already kind of better at spells than most people. And Neville's lost toad might seem silly, but actually builds his character, because later he can be the chocolate frog card gives Harry his first mention of Nicholas Flamel, a setup for Philosopher's Stone plot, so that's quite an important bit there. The train journey, there can be elements, I think that's a key element that the friends meet, so maybe a little bit more scenes there showing the kind of just between them, how they're talking to each other, how it builds. It could be elaborated on. It's very nice because that moment gives you that. The scene must be magical. The movie gives us a glimpse, but the book describes a glowing castle, and I think there needs to be a little bit of a transition showing the clear step between the train and the boats and how those lead up to the iconic skyline of Hogwarts. I think that element was nice, because looking back on some of like the behind the scenes, they had a big pond or lake, they had like a collapsible thing they put water into and had the boats coming through, and the kids kind of filmed that scene. The moment gives a glimpse of like the book describing a glowing castle reflected in the still black lake, boats gliding silently, the torches, all of that was done very nicely. So I think Hagrid leads them, and the fog, and there's loads of elements there, the perfect tone for a new beginning. It's a nice setup there. I like the original scene, but they could do something magical with it. Should they change it though? I don't think they should. I think the original was nice. The sorting hat. So as they go up into the castle, more about the walking of the castle, the nice stairs that they come up to, McGonagall standing at the top, getting them ready. There's like some scenes there we could elaborate on. The floating candles as they go inside. Close-ups of Ron during the hat's decision ceremony. Hermione, Draco, Neville, more detail there. The Hogwarts song, I don't think they should include it. I didn't like it. I'll be honest. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? We see more internal debate. The Hat seriously considering putting Harry in Slytherin. So I think there needs to be elaboration on like the little decisiveness between should he be in Slytherin, Gryffindor. Something that only makes sense if given real time and attention. I'd like to see that Hermione's sorted before Harry and how that plays, the fact that his friend's been sorted out, and will he be in this, his friend's been sorted out, so will he be in the same class? And how Draco's instantly just gone into Slytherin. That was like, Slytherin, before the hat hits his head, Slytherin. Harry's internal play, I think Harry's internal plea, not Slytherin, like, that was an interesting moment. I liked how they did it in the movie. Here's where the show can go deeper. Because we were missing out the song, maybe something to say the houses, a little bit more about like the Slytherin, the values, and Ravenclaw, and how they could do that to make it a little bit more meaningful. A nice introduction to the Great Hall and the house, because obviously the food appears and it's magical, and that moment was very good in the films where you see the big long shot of the whole table being full of food. That would be a nice moment in there. After the sorting's done, the feast begins, and with it the introduction to Hogwarts traditions. So maybe I think that was enough, but maybe a little bit more. We've got more important scenes, and we're already on episode 4, so I'm trying to have to cut this down a little bit. I think I just want everything to be longer and more detailed. I think Dumbledore having his odd speech kind of gives like an ancient institution feel to it, so that might be still good to have in there. The show could expand on a few elements, so the core sorting hat ceremony could be more deeper, more psychological. Ron and Harry's friendship developing in quiet, real ways, like just as it portrays it happening. The ghosts, we can increase those. Dumbledore's full speech plus his personality, which was gentler and weirder in the books. I'm mainly covering the things I'd like to see in the episodes, and I'm conscious that there's already great elements in the movies, also in the books, that I'm not really touching on. It depends what you think, what your theory is, because from my point of view, the movie did a good job. It's just generally we'd like to see more of everything. That would be the main thing. If they had given us the full version of the movie without the cutscenes, it would have been as good. There were some key elements which would have spoiled the mood of the film, but that's down to how they perceive it and set it up. So overall, there's a lot of scenes here that I've kind of jumped over and missed. Let me know in the comments which ones you think are definitely important to have in here and which ones could be played upon. I'm conscious I'm halfway through, and we're episode 4 now, and based on my theories, I'm just about getting to Hogwarts and getting sorted. So now we've got 4 episodes left where we need to get the actual magic going, and there's a lot more there. The Mirror of Erised, we've got the Fluffy guarding the door, we've got loads of stuff, so stay tuned because we will deep dive into more of that. So that wraps up my breakdown of episode 4 and what it could look like in the new HBO Harry Potter series. Next time we explore Harry's first magical class, potions, defense against the dark arts, and the first hints of danger at Hogwarts. What moment do you want to see brought to life in the series? Let me know in the comments. I will be on X, formerly Twitter, where you can follow me more for updates and news about the series and episodes. That's at Wondatell. You can follow me there and I'll give you like more updates. You'll be able to see the full episode of this playlist here.